Hello everyone, and welcome to Graveyard Keeper. This is a interesting game. I've been playing an awful lot about it. An awful lot of it, and I'm looking forward to starting a whole new game now. The dev puts out new patches every few days, so it's come a long way since I first played it. Maybe not in terms of content, but in terms of polish. So I thought we'd start a playthrough on the channel here and see how far we get now that I know what I'm doing, because I didn't want to fumble around not having a clue what to do, where to go, you know. So yeah, I figured we'd have a look through it. It's similar to Stardew Valley in many ways, but a little more grim, but a little more macabre, but in a funny way. You know, it's not super dark. Yeah, it's an interesting. It's a very interesting game. So, yeah, okay. So our first objective here is to dig up Jerry. Our story is we got hit by a car, presumably died, and woke up here. In what appears to be some sort of medieval location. Let's have a look around. We need to go track down Jerry. We'll have a browse of our home very soon. This is Jerry's grave right here. So we shall dig him up with our bare hands. Oh, look. It's a skull, and it can hop somehow. Magic. It's Jerry! A man with a red eye told me that I needed to dig Jerry up, and thus we did. Yep. So we're gonna... I'm not gonna read all the dialogue because there's an awful lot of it. And I'm pretty tired, it's pretty late, or early, depending on your perspective. So... maybe we're dreaming. Maybe that's the story. Maybe we'll wake up at the end and then nothing will ever have happened. Who knows? Maybe it was all a dream. Hey, there's the bell. Get used to hearing that. I swear I hear that in my dreams now, because it starts off so entertaining, but then after a while, it just makes me jump every time I hear it. A dangerous donkey? Yeah, okay. Donkey's fine. The donkey just delivers us our corpses to bury. Let's go have a word with the donkey, why not? Hey there, donkey, how you doing? He's got a fresh corpse from the town. The donkey is understandably perturbed that we can understand what he can say. He wants to talk. But, he's also left-leaning. A socialist donkey. Man, the dev of this is undoubtedly an interesting fellow. So he needs to head off. He'll leave our corpse here, just dump it unceremoniously on the ground for now. Hey there, Jerry, how you doing? Boing, boing. How you doing, pal? Yep, he's doing great. We need to grab that juicy corpse while it's still fresh. And we need to take it to the morgue. Yeah. Okay, understandably we might be about to puke. We're not used to this sort of business, but for now we shall whip it up with amazing strength, frankly. The things this guy can lift is pretty incredible. And not particularly shockingly, the skull is very at home in the morgue. Yep. Yep. Ay. So the skull is kind of... well, it's the skull. His name is Jerry. I will call him Jerry. Alright, so Jerry just sort of wants us to get on with it a little bit. I need to trade meat in the village tavern for a beer. Talking skulls never lie, and then bring the beer to him. Somehow this skull is going to drink beer. Let's not talk about the logistics of that too much. So we perform an autopsy on the corpse. For now, all we can do to it is extract flesh from it, and thus we shall, with our tools on the table right there. That is in fact disgusting. You are right. We'll get used to it. We will get used to it. You're right. Look at this. We now need to bury the corpse. This is a low quality corpse. There we are. And off we go. So the graveyard is just a short hop over the way down this lovely little cobblestone path, and here it is. It's in somewhat of a disrepair. Hello, Jerry. We need to make... oh, he's... where were you keeping that shovel? Alright, well, yeah, you sit here for a minute. That's... oh, they fixed the lag when placing buildings. That's nice. See what I mean? The dev is always adding fixes and things to this game. There's our gravesite. Now we shall go over to the gravesite, use our terribly slow and inefficient rusty shovel to dig us a pit. The pit is ugly, and though that number there means it lowered the graveyard quality, we shall inter the corpse and cover it back over. And there you go. That's the basics of burying a corpse with me. Alright, burial certificate. Came from nowhere, but we can trade it for money. That's how we earn a living in the early part of the game. This is the what's his name? The something? Episcop, that's the one. He's the Episcop. Hello, Episcop, how are you? I like this guy. My graveyard is in fact a mess. Look at it, it's terrible. He wants to promote us to cleric, but he's not going to do it until our graveyard is less of a mess. Okay, so he needs us to have a graveyard quality of at least 5 before he'll promote us. We look like a spiritual leader apparently, and he's a good judge of character. So he's good at everything, that's why he's choosing to represent his will. Haha! We used to keep our stuff in a trunk. Okay. He comes by every... what is that? I can't remember. The days of the week are represented by symbols. Most things are represented by symbols. Not many things have names in this. But, yeah, so we'll have to... we'll have to figure that out. All the days of the week have different names and things, like they're named after things like sloth and other sins. Right, so just for your sake, we'll talk about this. Who is BB? Who? I am. That was terrible, and you should feel bad. Oh yeah, you're very pleased with yourself. We'll laugh. Okay, so we'll tell him about ask about the burial certificate. He will tell us that it is our payment. It's part of an ancient contract between the town and the village. Since the party has been laid to rest, you can trade its burial certificate for money at the village tavern. Indeed. We have no more questions, thank you. And we can craft new ones to fix the existing graves. And we shall. So here's our tech. We unlock all manner of gubbins through here. Look at all this. There's so much. Obviously a lot of it, this is in alpha. A lot of it isn't available, but you can see there is a lot of it. Oh boy. There's an awful lot of it. It's a lot. I've unlocked most of the stuff you can unlock in the main game. In the current version of the game, sorry. But as you can see, there's a lot of business to tend to. So for now, we shall settle for opening our box here. And we'll take all our gubbins we have. A rusty axe, a rusty pick, a rusty shovel, and a rusty hammer. A lump of flesh, a burial certificate, 4 wood repair kits, and 4 stone repair kits. And we shall need all of them. So, let's start with the stone ones, shall we? We shall fix up the gravestone. It's going to take energy. That's our bar up here. It's coming up tonight, and we shall soon need to rest. But first, we shall attend to our business. You can see our graveyard is in a bit of a state right now. But we'll get there. We'll have it fixed up in no time. So, let's just spend all our repair kits right now on whatever we can. Oh, we've used up all our stone ones already. Huh, we only had 3, huh? Oh, pardon me, right there. So, we'll fix this one up next, because this has a wooden grave fence around it. There we are. I think we have 4 of these, right? And boosh. There we go. Another one right here. We'll fix up the cross first, because the cross adds more quality, you see. Plus, it's the more important part of a grave, I would imagine. Aside from, you know, the hole in the ground. There we go. I think that's 3. And then we've got 1 more. And just for the sake of having as many things as possible fixed up as well as we can. Oh, never mind. I guess it takes more than 1 now. It takes 2 to fix a gravestone. Huh, how about that? I guess he's changed that in a recent balance fix patch, whatever. Let's spend the rest of our energy digging up these here. Bushes? Brambles? Whatever it is, we'll dig them up because they're ruining our otherwise gorgeous graveyard. There we are. I think we aren't going to have the energy to finish this one off because we don't have improved tools. The tools take a lot of energy to use because they're low quality. We can improve that later. Our character does become very, very talented. It's a very multi-skilled salt of the earth sort of guy, apparently, even though he came from the future. Or maybe it's an alternate dimension. Who knows? Really, I don't... This game asks many questions, but provides few answers. For now, obviously, in the full release, all those questions will be answered in due course. For example, there's... Actually, this whole chunk of this game I haven't explored yet. Like, there's the town. I haven't actually been to the town yet, because you need a town pass. I have the pass in my other game, but haven't actually, like, been there. I don't know why. I guess I've just never had any reason to. Well, maybe I did have reason to, maybe I should have done it. In any case, we're here to talk to Horadric, the tavern keeper. The Dead Horse Tavern. Don't beat it, that's for sure. I came from the graveyard, I woke up here today, and things have been crazy since then. They have. I'm not entirely sure. Like, this guy is far more okay with the situation than I would be, that's for sure. I would not deal with this situation very well at all. Whoosh. Yep, he recognizes us, apparently. Things are looking bright for a small village, indeed. Alright. The thing is, he seems to acknowledge that the graveyard's in a terrible shape and no one's tended to it for a long time, but he seems to recognize us. What, does he think we just went on a holiday for a while, or what? We'll ask about the certificate first. I mean, he has to trade it for money, of course only if he has any money. The village is going through hard times, you see, we're short on money. As soon as we open the church, pilgrims will bring lots of shiny coins to the village. Okay. We like to trade meat. He just needs to see the royal stamp on it. We'll need to gain a stamp to package the meat up and sell it. Many years ago there was an accident with inappropriate meat. Ever since, all meat must be approved by royal authority. In other words, someone tried selling human flesh. Not that I would ever do such a thing. I don't need any trouble with the town. Does your meat have a stamp? Actually, no. Sorry, mate. Don't even want to know where you can get unauthorized meat, but wow, it really looks good. Yeah, man. He's very gullible, this man. Or does he... I have a feeling he understands the situation because of what he's about to say. You can send a form through the mailbox, but it'll cost me a bundle. But there's another way. I'll tell you because we're neighbors. Come closer. There's a guy called Snake, and he has a fake royal stamp. We haven't seen him for a while. Mrs. Charm, she comes here every... I think that's Lust. There we are. That's the name of the day, represented by the female symbol. So we can trade with him if we like. Oh, he wants us to take a letter to the blacksmith. Sure enough, we will. Alright. We will trade him our burial certificate for 1.5 silvers. Or 1 silver and 50 coppers if you prefer. So, now we're a messenger boy. Let's go. We have a glorious beard and a very well kept hairdo for someone that was apparently hit by a car. But who knows? Who really knows the situation here? Maybe we've just been reincarnated as the graveyard keeper. Right. I think I'm the keeper of the local graveyard, maybe. And who are you, pray tell, my good man? Unfortunately, he doesn't like his job, apparently. His name is Cresvold, the blacksmith. Hello, Cresvold. Here's a letter for you, my good man. 1 minute away, can't be bothered to come himself. Yeah. Old habits never die, the lazy cretin. I promise, you never see him away from that desk. It's amazing. Nobody sleeps in this town. Slimes again. Horadric has asked me to get rid of them. Don't have time for the pesky little green bastards, but maybe we can help. This rusty sword and energy potion. The sword is broken, but you can repair it with a whetstone and the grinder behind me. You can keep the whetstone, and we can use it to repair our shovels. Even we can, and those things are expensive. Whetstones cost a bundle. Alright, so we're gonna... Yeah, okay. Let's ask him where to find metal ore. I like to work with metal myself, apparently. Who knows? Like, this guy knows a lot of stuff, huh? You can find metal ore in swamp soil. There's a huge swamp across the west. Indeed, there is. Used to collect ore there before the bridge collapsed. Yep, we can still get there without the bridge, but ugh, it's a horrible place. Hopefully we won't need to. Well, soon anyway. Okay, so he's given us a couple of potions. Nice. We'll go ahead and chug those real quick. Yeah, just to give us the energy to fix up our broken sword. See, we've already learned how to fix tools. This man is incredible. Right, so we need to... Oh, it's already equipped. Let's give it a practice swing. There we go. Now to slay some slimes. Alright, you little blighters. Let's see if we can do it without getting hit. Oh, we got him. Yeah. Oh, I think he got me. Alright, we'll just flail wildly until he falls over, I guess. Or explodes into goop. Cresvold, we have defeated the slimes, and he gives us some simple iron parts to get us started. Nice. Alright, cool. There we are. Job done. And we're good here for now. I'm going to trade with him, though. I'm going to trade for as many nails as you can buy with our paltry sum of silver. There we are. Good doing business with you, my good man. We shall see you later, undoubtedly. It won't be long until we'll be able to make our own nails, but for now, we're gonna need them. Oh, we can't pick berries. Okay, I'll behave myself. I'll do what I'm supposed to do. So, I believe we have to get home to our love. That's our quest. This is all the people we've met so far. So, we need to get a beer, and we need to make money. You can pretty much do what you want. I don't think, like, the formal tutorial is over, I think. I think that's about it. This game does not hold your hand at all in the present iteration, which, to be honest, I really enjoyed. I enjoyed finding my way around, you know, and I spent maybe like 3-4 weeks in game, just sort of wandering around and just wasting entire days chopping down trees and just getting into shenanigans, you know, not really knowing what I was doing, and I think I kind of enjoyed that. Oh, hello. Hello, Jerry. How do you get around just poofing into smoke? You need to teach me that trick. I was at the village. It feels real, and yet it's all a dream. Or is it? Everybody's okay with him just appearing out of nowhere. Sod, you're stealing my thoughts. Stealing. I remember, there's a cellar in your cottage. Some provisions might be stored there, and thus we can now gather berries. We can make toast, onion toast, good with beer. Yep, he needs a beer. Okay. Alright, sure. Let's ask about this small road. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you ask him. He doesn't have any answers apparently. All right, he wants beer. You know what? That's fine. We'll gather up some berries real quick, just because it's a neat little snack, and it costs you maybe 2 energy to pick the berries. I'm gonna go back and get those berries from the town village real quick. It costs you a couple of energy to harvest them, and each one gives you 3 energy. So overall, it's worth it. It's probably not worth the walk though. I don't know why I'm going back to get these berries, but hey, they're over there. It would be remiss of me to not pick them, right? I mean, the faster I pick them, the faster they grow back. I won't regret it, trust me. In the end, I'll be halfway through something, I'll need like 1 energy to finish it off or something, and I'll have these berries, and it'll be a good time. I need to be in a specific place, there we go. Sometimes he'll automatically walk there if you're near something, like if I go right there, see, I held F there, I didn't actually give a movement command, and he moved right over to that bush and picked it. It won't take too kindly just picking their carrots, in other words, I physically can't pick their carrots, even if I wanted to. So we'll just settle for picking the wild berries for now. There's a massive list of food and things you can cook in this game. Oh, it just goes on and on and on. Like, the game really does. Like, every time I think I've sort of figured out exactly the limits of what you can do in this game, I uncover a whole new skill. You know, like at first you think, hey, it's a game about maintaining a graveyard, right? Wrong. It's about maintaining a graveyard, right? Then you grow food and cook the food, and then you chop trees and build workshops, and then you use those to craft tools and build a smithy and forge tools and buildings and all sorts. It just goes on. It goes on and on and on. And then you have different sort of things you can harvest from the bodies that you take in. Oh, and then there's this guy, this handsome fellow right here with the pointy ears, who's trying to get through this gate. Who knows why? Ooh, maybe we'll figure it out later. I don't know what this graphical bug is. I never saw that before. Apparently I can fix that. Just by looking at it, we know we can fix it. We can also smash up this old bucket. And we will, to gain a flitch. Should have a... Oh, see? This is why we have the berries. Suddenly I have the energy. Bosh. And we got a metal pot. We'll cut... Well, a metal pot and a nail. Nice. We'll come back to that later. You'll notice the little gems we gain whenever we smash something or do something. That unlocks... those are tech points, and you can see here they represent different types of knowledge. For example, red is your handcrafting skills, your ability to work with materials. Green is my knowledge of nature and things, and a blue is my knowledge of the immaterial world. And blue is by far the hardest to get. You can get them renewably, in theory. We're going to take a quick nap. It's much more energy efficient to sleep at night, by the way. You can sleep during the day, but you get far less energy back for doing so, presumably because it's still light, or maybe the birds are chirping or something, I don't know. But obviously, generally speaking, people will sleep at night, right? It only makes sense. Saying that, I am currently up at nearly 4 in the morning, but that's just me, right? Probably not just me. I know someone that's out there watching this in the early morning, so hi to you. So, that's it. We do what we want now. So, I think, where do we want to get started? I think we'll start by going back to our house. Now that we've unlocked that sawing skill, we're going to need to build a few things. We're going to want to focus on improving our tools as soon as possible to allow us to get more work done during the day. We go here. So what do we need? We need a sawhorse, for which we just need 10 sticks. We can do that. We can get sticks. There's sticks everywhere. Excuse me. Is there anything in here? No, nothing. Okay, cool. Bye-bye. Let's dig up these shrubs littering our yard. It's useless, by the way, to focus on the graveyard right away because you need certain things to improve the place, which you don't really have to begin with. Like, you need certain materials to build the better gravestones, and yeah, there's also a few things about preparing corpses before burying them, which helps improve the state of the grave once you you know, put them 6 feet under. But as for like how you're supposed to figure that out without looking at the wiki, I don't know. Maybe he's put in tooltips. We'll see. I'm just gonna clear out this space because you have very limited yard space to begin with. So I like to arrange things in a certain way to maximize like the efficiency of your sort of, you know, the way you lay it out. I think I'm gonna put the sawhorse maybe back here somewhere. I don't use it that much, so I'll put it about there, and this that'll spawn a pile of planks, which we will smack with a hammer for a little while, and it will magically turn into a log. There we go. So from the log we can make wooden markers. Probably don't want to bother with these, to be honest. Not really worth making. We can make flitches and wooden billets. They take 20 energy a piece. I think we have 80 energy. It doesn't really say, but I think I've sort of figured it out roughly. You have 80, you don't have 100, I don't think. I could be wrong. Anyway, so next up, we need that. We don't need it immediately, but we will need it. Next we're going to want, say, let me see, we've got all these things we're going to need. It doesn't look like we can craft some of the things we need. What tech do we need to get this? We need firewood, we need stonework, and we need all these things, right? And all these points, they'll come just through playing the game, just through doing things and getting on with stuff. You'll unlock things that will allow you to get these new techs. Red is by far the most common. Like, the later techs take like 200, and trust me, that's trivial by later on. We'll want to start by chopping a tree, perhaps, because we're going to need logs, and plenty of them. For now, we really just need the points more than anything. Neat little trick, by the way, is even though you can only lift one thing at a time, you can push them around with your feet. This man is just incredibly strong. There we are. There's another little tree over here. We'll probably make a start on this. Will we finish it? We will. Success. We only got one log out of this one, unfortunately. We can improve that with a perk we can get unlock later on. So that's that for now. It's almost coming up to night time. What do we need to work on now? We need to get a beer for Jerry. We need a stamp to sell meat to Horadric. Oh, I never went back to Horadric. Huh. Horadric, whatever. In fact, since it's nighttime, I think we're gonna go back to sleep. Rather than waste our berries, we'll just make use of the fact night is here. The best time to go to sleep. Oh, a new corpse has been delivered. We'll go and see about dealing with them now. You can leave them for a little while. Don't leave them too long though, because then, you know, they start to smell bad and ruin the quality of your grave once you bury them. Not that you have to bury them, there are options, and I'll discuss that with you shortly. Let me check the text real quick. Do we have the points we need? No, we need 10 red points, and I'll show you that. I'll show you why we need that shortly. Let's just check on this this body right here. This poor unfortunate soul. I don't know what's with this graphical bug. I didn't have to deal with that before. Yeah, it's a pretty unfortunate quality corpse. In any case, just for the sake of showing you guys, I'll show you the alternative method of dealing with bodies if perhaps they're not worthy of your graveyard. We just go for a little walk past here, and hey look, there's the graveyard. We're not going there though. No. We're gonna keep going, and we will throw them in the river. Bye! Have a lovely trip. And that's the morally questionable way of dealing with an what's the word? unsatisfactory corpse. Who knows? I like to think, well, I don't like to think, but chances are they probably pile up somewhere down the river, and someone's going to find those and say, I've noticed the graveyard isn't that full. Yeah, you don't want to do that too much though, because as we discussed, burying corpses is the main source of money for you, especially this early in the game. But the reason I wanted to do that was firstly to show you that you can get rid of corpses if they don't suit your, if they're not like decent quality. Now I'll show you what I mean by quality when the next body turns up, which shouldn't take too long. Now we're going to unlock this just for then, right? So that'll allow us to extract blood and fat from the corpses. Lovely, charming, grim, generally unpleasant, and yet kind of funny, to be honest. Alright, and that's actually summarizes a lot of the stuff in this game. Very grim, and yet somehow still funny. The art in this game, by the way, is just amazing. Look at it, everything's so nice. This is really impressive animation and pixel art. I'm not sure how well it's going to come across in the video, because YouTube does love to murder videos in terms of quality. Here's our kitchen table, by the way. Look at all this stuff. We can package meat to sell to Horadric. We can chop up frogs and slice meat. We can do all sorts of things. For now, we're going to store our berries and our human flesh in this box. I'm going to keep the tools and stuff on us for now. Well, I tell a lie. I'm actually going to keep them in this here box. Later on, we'll have more boxes. We can build them as and when we please. So, now we're going to need to work on this furnace next. We need flitches and a bunch of stone. So that's certainly within our capabilities. But really, what you really need at this stage is just more of these points. And I think the devs sort of done this on purpose, right? Because that means now you've got to go around, you got to do stuff, right? Like, for example, I can dig up this plant. Our shovel's broken. Oh dear. Well, that was a poor time for that to happen. In any case, we've got a whetstone right here. A grindstone, sorry. Which we will use to fix our shovel. And lo we shall. There we go. Look at that. So, yeah, as I said, you gotta go around, you gotta do random stuff. And I think he's gated some of the earlier stuff behind this just to encourage you to go for a wander and do things. Because that's the thing about this game is, let's go for a wander right now. I'm actually, it's nearly night time, I should go to sleep. But I'm not gonna, because, well, I'm basically role-playing myself at this point. So if we go for a wander up here, sometimes there are slimes, sometimes there are not. You can see here, this is what iron ore looks like. There it is. So you just go for a wander. Like, this is a very big, very big map. Like, this goes all the way up here, but this will result in a dead end. I'm just sort of showing you there's a lot of iron ore back here, which took me way too long to find, because I didn't do enough exploration in my first playthrough. Well, my first few days anyway. I found this eventually, after I had spent, at one point, quite literally about 2 weeks wandering the marsh, not able to find my way out. It's a nightmare. That place is horrible. Don't ever go there. Ugh. Ah, there we are, right on time. So what I'm going to do, I probably should have used this time to nap, so I had the energy to deal with that corpse as soon as it arrived. But, ah well. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. We got stuff done, right? We showed you the iron ore. So let's go for a quick sleep. Hopefully we can get up in time to sort our unfortunate friend out before too much of him has dropped off. Alright, there. So hopefully he should be about, maybe, I don't know, 98, 97%, maybe 96. We'll see. It shouldn't be too low anyway. Even though we left him out overnight. 93, ooh, he's progressed further than I thought. Right, we better hurry then. Alright, so, this is how this works. I think, from my understanding, the white skulls represent the maximum quality of the grave that the grave this guy will be buried in can achieve, right? So the more white skulls, the better. But then you subtract the red skulls and the green skulls from that. So this one would result in a maximum quality of +1 to our graveyard. But if we subtract blood, in other words, we extract the blood from the corpse, suddenly he's got 3 and no red skulls. And if we extract the fat as well, don't ask me about the logistics of this. Suddenly he's got 4. So this grave now that this guy is going to be buried in has the potential to reach a maximum quality of 4. And because he has no red skulls, it won't detract from the quality. So if I pop him on the ground there, grab a new grave site, We can't really fit anything in there, so we might as well just do a couple like that. So we'll dig a grave really, really fast, hopefully. Notice how this one right here we did earlier, he had a red skull, so he's on -1. But if we pop him in there, see? It's already at 1 quality, even though we haven't really given it a gravestone or anything. And that's how that works. That's something I missed out on my first playthrough, and it makes a big difference. For example, now you can see my graveyard quality is -6 already, and it took me a long time to fix up my graveyard to the point where I could become the priest. Oh, hello. The Inquisitor! You seen the Inquisitor up on the path to Witch Hill. Okay, well the Inquisitor has arrived now because I think today is Wrath. Yes, that's the symbol for Wrath. The male symbol. Everything's represented by symbols. For example, the moon represents a sloth, I think. I can't remember what the sun symbol represents. Then you've got... Oh, okay, cutscene. This is where we meet the Inquisitor. Everything is ready, Monsignor. Good. Were there any problems? No, Monsignor, except there was this strange fella sniffing around. Oh, there he is! Halt! Guys, calm down. I live here at the graveyard. It's all chill. He calls us guys? Why, he's a cultist for certain, Monsignor. Why, yes, obviously. I am the graveyard keeper. Ask any of the villagers about me. Definitely a new one. I feel that you're telling the truth. Would you like to join me at the witch burning ceremony? Why, yes, it would be my honour. How did we find ourselves in such an interesting position? We'll tell him. I'm from another world, not entirely sure how I got here. I need to get back home to my love. Don't think it's an appropriate time for jokes, and I don't appreciate your general demeanour. It's best not to lie to the Inquisitor. I protect the one true faith and humankind itself. We're having a tough time in the town. The ship of the dead is already overloaded, and there's a new one stuck in the shipyard. Your graveyard is opening again at a suspiciously auspicious time. What a phrase. Suspiciously auspicious. The dark cult is rising. I can feel it. Righteous anger rises within my with it in my soul. We haven't revealed a witch for a long time, and now we're lighting up the second one this year. It's only the beginning. So, let's watch someone be burned alive. Why not? Presumably alive. They don't move much. Yes, Monsignor. We shall begin the flames. There they go. Not convinced they're alive. Someone that was living would probably make much more of a fuss about being set on fire. Maybe that's too grim for the game, who knows. So, we have got a lot of dead bodies. Yes, it is part of my job. I do in fact live by the graveyard. You need someone to be his friend here at the village. A friend of mine is a friend of the Holy Inquisition. Villagers, they're different from us town citizens. You can't trust them. When you're here, we might notice something unusual. I will. I'll be your friend. Why not? Friendship is based on trust and goodwill. We'll have to show our goodwill to the Inquisitor, and of course, as everyone does, he has minor tasks for us. Today's a day of wrath, not a day of sweating the minor details. You can talk next, Wrath, or any other wrath. I like to come here. There's no other place where I can feel my holy wrath so deeply. What a charmer. In any case, he wants me to meet him any other day. Not today, because he's enjoying the burning person. Okay, well, you do you, friend. I'm gonna go ahead and put him in the ground, right? You do whatever you gotta do, pal, and I'm just gonna go dig graves, I guess. So, where do we need to go? Let's see, what are we working on currently? I think, do we have any more techs we can unlock, perhaps? No, we need more red. And to get red research, we work with our hands. And so, ooh, berries. Let's nab some of these while we still can. There we are. And that gives us green points. It's important to just keep doing stuff. Don't waste time. Like, of course, there's no time limit in this game. You can take as long or as little, as much or as little time as you please, really. There's absolutely no pressure at all. As far as I can tell. I mean, I've gotten to something like day 200. So I've encountered nothing that's time limited. I'm gonna sew up some flitches. It's gonna take a little while. But we're gonna need them. You make planks from them, so yeah, we'll there we go. And that's given us a red point. We'll probably do another. If we can, we should be able to. And that each log we saw gives us 6, I believe, unless that was changed in the most recent patch as well. Nope, still gives us 6. Okay, and that should be that. I'm gonna, why not? I may as well make a start. In any case, I think that'll be the end of this episode. So I hope you've all have been intrigued by this game, as intrigued as I was when I first saw someone play it. It is a rather unique game, mulberries, and we'll may as well keep the miscellaneous body parts we've harvested in there. You can do all sorts with most of the stuff you unlock by chopping up people up. It's bizarre, like you can make candles out of fat and things. It's a weird game. But anyways, thank you all very much for watching. I do hope you'll join me next episode, because that's where we'll get into the nitty gritty of upgrading stuff, and we'll actually get some stuff done next time. So thank you all very much for watching, and I do hope to see you next time.